All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, November 19th, 2019, and we just finished with week 11 in the NFL here. Sorry about that. Don't know why I said 9, but we're here now in week 12. It was a very good week for me. I went 11-3 on my pick'em. Only getting the Browns winning, the Falcons winning, and I believe the other game, which is a little hard for me to tell off the top of my head. The Jets beating the Redskins. That game was kind of weird, and it was two really bad teams, and it's kind of hard to tell who's going to win between the two bad teams. I won't be picking the Redskins the rest of the season. So, but yeah, here we are. It's week 12. Let's just jump right into this video. We have a few games to get over. Actually, a fun fact about this week. This is the first time, I believe, in the entire Super Bowl era where all the primetime games in 1 week, Thursday night, Monday night, and Sunday night, are going to be between teams that are all 500, or better. So this is the first time in NFL history or Super Bowl era history that all the teams are good that are playing on primetime games. So I'm very excited about that. We have 3 good games to stream this week. So very excited, very happy. Let's go ahead and get into some of these games. First and foremost, we got to go over the Week 12 buys. There's going to be 14 games this week, as there are 4 teams gone. That includes the Cardinals, Chargers, Chiefs, and Vikings. So, I don't know. I guess if you're a fan of the Packers, or if you're a fan of the Vikings, you can hope the Packers lose to the 49ers on Monday. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of really good, games set up this week. Sunday night rather. We'll get to them. The Chiefs, if you're a fan of the Chiefs, you can watch the Raiders hopefully lose, or it's a long variation of things. And if you're a Cardinals fan, that just kind of sucks. All right, let's go over some Thursday night football. Very good game right away. Like I said, both teams are above 500 here on a primetime game. The Texans are favored by 3.5 points, over under a 45.5. This is a battle for first place in the AFC South. I think the Colts hold a tiebreaker over the Texans right now, as the Colts won their game earlier this year. So I think the Colts are in first place, but it's by half a game due to a tiebreaker. So very fun matchup usually between the Colts and the Texans. Pretty equal teams this year, I would have to argue. Both teams have very strong points on them. The Texans' obvious strong point is their offense, regardless of how bad they just got beat by the Ravens. The Colts, their strong point is, I believe, just having a very strong team. I don't think any unit of the Colts really stands out as the dominant unit of the team. It just seems like they play very, very well as a team, whereas the Texans are sort of a offensive base first team. Their defense is, it's a little bit better than it was at the start of the year, but it still has a lot to be desired. And with the way I just seen the Texans play against the Ravens, I don't trust this Texans team. They've had great moments this year against teams that don't really have much of a defense. And then it's just man, when you've seen the way the Ravens just came in here and beat the dog shit out of the Texans, are you you have to wonder, is that a formulaic way of beating Deshaun Watson down, or was it just the Ravens are just that good? I mean, it could be the Ravens are just that good. They've beaten, if you look at the carnage they've ravaged through the league, it's been Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. They've beaten all 3 of those guys in the last month. So I don't know if I can really count that against the Texans. This is just a tough game. The Colts pretty much dominate the series against the Texans, and I think that's why I'm leaning this way. It just seems like whatever the Texans do, the Colts have their number. And this iteration of the Colts team minus Andrew Luck, I don't remember when the last time the Texans have even beaten them. It must have been in 2017, because in 2018 they swept them. 2017 they could have beat the Texans, could have beaten the Colts, but I don't know. I didn't look that far back, to be fully honest with you, but this game should be very, very good. Both these teams are very, very evenly matched, I personally think. I think the weaknesses of the Colts offense are made up for it on its defense, and I think the Texans have a little bit of an imbalance with the offense being an elite offense with a big defense. And the Colts special teams, their kicker's a little older now, and the age is really starting to show their AV. One of the GOATs. No, the GOAT of kicking, Adam Vinatieri. So sorry about that. No disrespect. Yeah, I like the Colts to win this game simply because they dominate the series. They're healthy. They're getting healthy at the right time. And they played very well against the Jaguars. They played very well inside of this division. under any quarterback they've really ever had. So I like the Colts winning this game against the Texans. Very, very close, very, very fun game. 28-24. Let's see. This game, there's not really much to say. I'm not going to trash the games as just straight up matchups this week. I don't think that's very fun. This game is a very bad matchup. It's 2-3-7 teams. The Falcons, the Buccaneers are playing at the Falcons. It's a fun division game, so if you're like a fan of either team, I guess this is pretty cool because it's divisional and that's always fun. Falcons are favored by 4, over under of 51. Oh yeah, by the way, all these lines are from FanDuel. They're very early lines. They're from FanDuel. So I feel like I should be transparent about where I'm getting lines from. So I don't know. I think the Falcons win 42-35 because they're a little bit better the last couple weeks. I can't believe I picked the Falcons. That's how bad of a situation it is for Tampa Bay that I'm actually picking a team I can't stand. I hate the Falcons. I hate everything about Matt Ryan, the Falcons, and how they got a win against the Lions in 2017 or 16 by a 10-second runoff rule. Imagine losing a game to a team on a 10-second runoff rule when you're at the 1-yard line. Literally, Lions were at first and goal from the 1. There was 9 seconds left. The booth had to challenge a scoring play, and it was ruled not a touchdown, and they had to do the 10-second runoff and just fuck the Lions. Yeah. Didn't even let us get set so we could spike the ball with like a second left. It was brutal, dude. So give me the Falcons 42-35. Here's another game I don't really have too much to say. The Browns should just destroy the Dolphins, who aren't trying that hard this year. They just don't care. I'm shocked they have 2 wins, but I guess you have some pride you have to play for. The Browns are 11 points favorites with a 44.5 over under. I think the Browns win 24-9 and improve to 5-6. By the way, Browns fans, you guys have a lot of these games. This is pretty much the remainder of your schedule. You have the Bengals, I think, twice, the Dolphins. I think the fucking Jets show up on your schedule. It's you guys got it made for the rest of the season. You guys could very well go 10-6. We'll see how it plays out. Again, there's a lot of very bad matchups this week, but it's kind of peppered in between the fact that every primetime game is good. I'm pretty sure the Bears are going to be going with Chase Daniels this week. I don't know if they're going to be going with Mitchell Trubisky or if he's ever really going to play again for them. The Bears are 6.5 point favorites with an over-under of 40.5. The Giants are 2-8. Bears are 4-6. Both teams thought this would be a lot better of a season, especially the Bears, I would imagine. I'll give the Bears the victory here to improve to 5-6, 20-13. Sorry, Giants, you guys are just terrible. Yeah, at first you would be like, well, this could be a close game, right? The Panthers are traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints. The Saints are 8-2. The Panthers are at 5-5 in an absolute must-win mode. Like, you can't lose any more games, really, if you want to be a playoff team, a wild card team. So, especially since the Vikings are probably taking the other one, or the Packers, whoever doesn't win the North, and then you have to deal with the NFC West sending 2 teams. So, yeah, Carolina really can't be losing these games, or else they're shit out of luck. So, I believe they've already lost the game they've played against them this year when they had Teddy Bridgewater, so I don't think this game is going to be very close. Kyle Allen's finally is unraveling as a starter. He's been kind of figured out. The Saints are 8.5 point favorites with a over-under of 47. And I think they dominate this game from the outset. I don't think it's ever going to be really that close. Give me the Saints 35-21. Really, I just don't think it's going to be close. The Saints already beat them with Kyle Allen versus Teddy Bridgewater. You think Drew Brees is going to struggle against Kyle Allen in this defense? I don't think so. Teddy Bridgewater ate him up. The Raiders, the fun surprise of the NFL season. They're in second place in the AFC West, and they're breathing down the throats of the 7-4 Kansas City Chiefs. So the Jets are the next victim of the Raiders. The Jets are hosting the Raiders. The Raiders are 3-point favorites with an over-under of 45.5. I don't know. I don't really see this game being that close. The Jets do play better against some teams, but I don't. The Raiders aren't one of those teams that are like bad this year. They're like sneakily good. Pretty decent little defense. They seem to beat up on teams they're supposed to beat up on. So this feels like a game the Raiders are supposed to beat up on somebody, and I think they'll be able to do that. Gruden's a good coach. This defense is a lot better than what we all thought it was going to be. And their offense, it's coming along. It's coming along. It is what it is with Carr, and I don't think they have a plethora of receiving options for him to burn you with. So that's always a thing. Josh Jacobs is really good. So yeah, I like the Raiders in this one, 28-14. Let's go to the here. So those are the first 5 1 p.m. games. We have 4 more. Yeah, there's 9 of them this week at 1 o'clock. Isn't that crazy? The Buffalo Bills take on the Denver Broncos in what's going to be an ugly affair. I think it'll be a lot closer than the score will indicate, simply because it's the Bills and it's the Broncos. Neither team likes to play by any particular set of rules for how their seasons are going. They just kind of show up one week, then they don't show up for another. They show up for 1 week, then they'll show up for another. It's very hard to predict either one of these two teams, but the Bills seem to have been given a very easy schedule this year. It seems like every week the Bills are favored, and it's against like a 3-win or a 2-win or a 1-win team. So here we are again. The Bills playing another very underperforming team to what they thought they were going to be. The Bills are the Bills are 4-point favorites with an over/under of 37.5. I do think the Bills win this game. I just don't think the Broncos have a quarterback situation that you want to deal with when you're playing a team like Buffalo, who's very, very, very strong defensively. The Broncos running game isn't doing much. The offensive line isn't doing much. The defense is the only reason they're somewhat in games, but then we just seen them give up a giant comeback to the old Vikings. So I don't know, man. The Denver's just not having a good year. Nothing's going their way, and losing to Buffalo, though not embarrassing, because the Bills, if they win, would be 8-3. So it's not like it's like a typical, we lost to Buffalo. No, it's like you lost to an 8-3 football team who's probably going to be a wild card team. So that's a bit crazy. My black horse team to make the playoffs is going to. So give me the Bills 21-17 over the Broncos. Yeah, there's a lot of bad games at 1 o'clock, folks, and I love the Lions. They're my second favorite team. So this is hard for me to do. I wouldn't have picked them actually because they have Jeff Driscoll, but then I seen they're playing the Redskins. So you don't really have to say much when you're playing the Redskins. You know what I mean? You just know, all right, probably winning. So the Lions play the Redskins. They're 3.5-point favorites on the road with the backup quarterback. That with Jeff Driscoll as their starter, even though Stafford's week to week, but shut him down. You're 3-6. Just shut him down. You're not making the playoffs. You're not making the playoffs. Just shut him down. Be done with him for the year. Go with Driscoll. Just let him recover. There's a reason the Eagles shut down Nick Foles or Carson Wentz last year when he had a fractured back, when he was dealing with back issues. It's better just to shut you down when there's really nothing left to save the season for. What, you think you're going to go 9-6-1 and make the playoffs over Seattle or San Francisco or the Vikings, who are all making it, and the Packers and the Cowboys and the Saints? Like, do you really think those 6 teams are not making it? If so, let me know down in the comments who's making it then. But so all right, the Lions, I think they're going to beat the Redskins 24-20. Both teams haven't really done much this year, so I don't know. Lions seem to have a more disappointing stretch there. Not one of these 1 p.m. games have been very good, to be very honest with you. The Pittsburgh Steelers play the Cincinnati Bengals. Steelers are 5-5. The Bengals are 0-10. They're going to be shotting out Ryan Finley again. I don't think they're going to be playing Dalton for the rest of the year. The Bengals are 6-point favorites the Steelers are 6-point favorites I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Bengals or Steelers fans. I'm so sorry to do that to you. With an over/under of 39, this is the first game since the big fight for the Steelers, and they go from playing one of their most hated rivals to playing their other most hated rival in Cincinnati. So this will be a fun game. Hopefully nobody gets their head bashed in with a helmet. Hopefully no one punches people in the dick like Mason Rudolph did. And, hopefully nobody just, fights each other, even though that was really cool. That's still the greatest. You just see a picture of Mason Rudolph right in the ball sack. Then he gets bopped in the head. It was all street justice, really. The Steelers should win this game 31-9 or some kind of variant. I don't even know if the Bengals will score any points. I don't think that's really their concern. Don't concern yourself with what the Bengals are doing. If you ain't know, you ain't need to know. That's what they told me. So I'd back the fuck off of that situation. All right, then this actually should be no, it's not. It's not going to be a good game. The Steelers can't catch the football, or the Eagles can't catch the football. The Seattle Seahawks travel to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. Eagles are 2-point favorites somehow. The disrespect to the Seahawks this season has been immeasurable. I'm getting tired of seeing every week the Seahawks being favored to not beat a team. It's like, oh, you guys aren't going to beat the Browns. You're not going to beat the Rams. You're not going to beat the 49ers. You're not going to beat anybody this year. According to what I see on like all these charts and shit, the Seahawks should be like a one-win football team. I don't think they've been favored yet this year, and they've played literal trash competition like the Eagles. No offense to Eagles fans, but you guys just don't have offense. Like, you guys should have beat the Patriots. All those drops, you guys should have at least brought the game to overtime. Aguilar, like, injuries, dropping it, poor play from Carson Wentz at times, just holding on to the ball too long, making bad throws, under throwing it, inaccurate passing. A lot of mistakes have been made by the Eagles, and that's why I'm leaning towards Seattle in this game, actually. The Seahawks don't make a lot of mistakes. They capitalize off of you when you make mistakes. Like, if you let them get the ball back, they will capitalize on some shit like that. Like, you can't have big old drops. You can't be doing wild throws because the Seahawks will intercept those. The Eagles have the problem of going from the Patriots, who play a very good defense, and a very lackluster offense, to the Seahawks, who don't have much of a defense, but they can blow the doors off you on their offense. So that's a very interesting dynamic, completely different styles of teams to play for, but it's kind of the same style of super plus coaching. It's incredible coaching on either side. So Dougie P has his work cut out for him. I think the Seahawks are going to win this game. I think they're a better football team. I think they're a better balanced football team. They're definitely a better coached, more composed football team at this current point. Healthier. So give me the Seahawks over the Eagles 35-31. Let's go. And those are the 1 p.m. games. At least it doesn't end with a complete stinker, but most of them are complete stinkers. I mean, Thursday night we have a great game, then we have a bunch of shitty 1 p.m. games, and then we have the Titans and the Jaguars, like two teams that aren't making the playoffs. The Titans host the Jaguars. The Titans are 3-point favorites with an over-under of 41.5. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone and had to grab it before it decided to start fucking with me. But anyway, let's see. The Titans. Why did I not look this up? I don't remember studying this game for some reason. I have the Titans winning by 3. What's the over-under? I have them going under the 41.5. I don't know. I didn't really do much for this game. I'm very sorry about that, everybody. It was nothing against the Titans or the Jaguars. Like, I'm just blanking on what my notes were before I started doing this. I think it's because the Titans were bye last week, and I can't. Jaguars, they got blown out by the Colts with Nick Foles, so that's a little worrying. If they have another bad game, dude, another bad game, I would imagine Minshew is going to be the quarterback going forward, and they trade Foles. But I guess we'll see about all that. That's more off-season stuff. The Titans, they're the Titans. They've looked a lot better since Ryan Tannehill took the team over. At least on offense, they've looked a lot better, which is what they were trying to do. So I like the Titans to win this game at home. I guess I just went with the home team because I really didn't know much about these teams. Titans 2017. I did look up this game though, so fuck the Cowboys number 1. Let's go Patriots. Patriots are 9-1 and they're playing the host right now, so it's going to be Dak Prescott and company coming up into Bill Belichick's house in Foxborough, the house that Tommy built, and taking on the mighty Patriots. The Patriots are 6-point favorites with an over-under of 46. I see this being a very low-scoring game, the kind of game the Patriots seem to be kind of dominating in this year. I think the Patriots have a style. They're going to play a low-scoring style of game until their offense gets going. Obviously, the team has some major offensive woes, the Patriots do. And I'm not a blind homer. I understand my team's offense is very shaky at best. We're all praying for Gronk to retire, basically. That's what we're hoping for. That's all we got in New England Patriots fan base right now. We're just like, come on, Gronk. Which, today's Tuesday. Today's his big announcement. So we're hoping it's the unretiring because this is like the only time that's left. So I think he's got till the 30th to get back on the roster. So we'll see. The offense is very shaky. The defense is obviously very, very good. They kind of proved that against the Eagles. The Ravens are a special situation. I don't think we can really count them as a normal case study for how a team plays. We'll see against the Cowboys how well the Patriots defense can really play. If they play like they did against the Eagles, the Patriots are just going to dominate this game. The Cowboys have not played very well against good competition this year. They're kind of an average, overrated football team that has very good wins and then very bad losses. It's just like a lot of your games are just very unimpressive for some reason. It's just you struggle beat the Lions. You struggle beat teams that you should just blow the shit out of. Like, they should have destroyed the Lions. The Lions were starting Jeff Driscoll, and they let Jeff Driscoll look like an MVP of the league. It's just like, are you guys kidding me? Like, how bad is this Cowboys defense that guys like Jeff Driscoll were picking them apart? If you give Brady the time that Jeff had, or if they let Tom Brady do what Jeff Driscoll did, it doesn't matter how bad the offense of the Patriots is. They're going to score some points on the Cowboys. This seems like a mismatch almost on every end, but I don't know. I see Dak having a very frustrating bad game for Dak Prescott just simply because of the nature of the defense. I don't know. I just don't see a way in which the Cowboys win. The Patriots defense is very smothering. You're not going to be able to. You got to really pray Zeke has a gigantic day, and the Patriots are going to scheme so that Dak has to beat us by throwing it, which is something that no one can really do. Just go ask Carson Wentz. At one point, going into the third quarter or fourth quarter, he had like 98 passing yards. It's just like, yeah, that's the horrible future and reality of this Patriots secondary. It's not easy to play against. They're not going to let you get cheap throws. They're probably going to pick off Dak a couple times. So we'll see. Give me the Patriots 21-13 in a dominating defensive statement. Sunday Night Football. Packers versus 49ers. 8-2 versus 9-1. This is a battle for first place in the NFC. This is a battle for the number one seed of the entire conference right now, because if the Packers win, they go to 9-2 and take the number one seed, as they would hold a tiebreaker. Also, the Saints could be put in there, but I believe the 49ers beat them. I think. I'll have to look. I'm not going to commit to that. Anyway, the Niners are favored by 3 as they're at home. I kind of give them some points in that as well. Over under of 46 points. This is going to be a very, very, very good, competitive, fun football game that I think I'm going to be leading toward the San Francisco 49ers, based on the fact that when I've seen there are times when the Packers have looked incredibly average this year. Their loss to the Eagles, close game against the Lions, close game against the Packers, or against the not Cowboys, but yeah, they let that late comeback happen against the Cowboys. There's just been instances where you've looked at them and gone, that's not a very good football team. The struggle win over the Bears when they won like 10-9. It's, I don't know, man. It just seems like the 49ers. Yeah, I get it. They've had some bad games, but like. And the Packers fans go, those are like division games, 2 of those. It's like, yeah, but so are the 2 bad games that the fucking 49ers have played. The 2 bad games, they won one of them, was against the Cardinals. And they've won one. And the game against the Seahawks, that's not a bad loss. That's another division one. So the only people who've given the 49ers any kind of trouble are teams that play them twice a year and have somewhat of an idea of what they've become before they became them. So we've already seen what a smothering defense and a very strong defensive front, great secondary can do to the Green Bay Packers. We've seen it in the lower scoring games against the Vikings. We've seen it in the lower scoring games against the Bears. The 10-9, I think they beat the Vikings like 21 or 24 to like 16. It's not exactly like, Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things. The all of a sudden MVP candidate to some people, not to me at all. I don't know, man. I'm going mainly off guts here because this is such an even matchup. I think the defense is the strong suit for the 49ers, obviously. The strong suit for the Packers is the offensive unit. The defensive unit is criminally overrated in Green Bay. Don't fall for it. I imagine the problem with the run that the Green Bay Packers seem to have is going to be utilized heavily by these 49ers. They're going to run the ball down the throats of the Packers, and I think that's going to be a major reason why the 49ers win this game is the running abilities. They've been shown they have the ability to throw the football, which they probably won't do it as much against the Packers, who play the pass pretty goddamn well. But the Packers have struggled with the run at times this year, and the 49ers are a very, very good running team, very good defensively. They're going to be on Aaron Rodgers' ass all afternoon. They're going to have no problem eating up that line and getting to the quarterback. I like the 49ers winning this one 31-21. Monday Night Football, as I said, all three of the primetime games, the Texans and Colts are both 6-4. These teams are 8-2 and 9-1, and then we have this on Monday Night Football, 6-2, 8-2 versus 6-4. So again, all three teams are above 500. I don't have this one highlighted. There's not really much to go into this one, I don't think. I'm probably lowballing it. I should make that like 35 or 38-21 if I'm being very honest. But I have the Ravens beating the Rams. The Rams are playing host in Los Angeles. There's kind of some crossplay. Marcus Peters is playing his old team. Eric Weddle's playing his old team. An emotional reunion between friends and foes. And but the Ravens are 3.5 point favorites with a 46.5 over under. Give me the Ravens all goddamn day in this game. It's not going to be close at all. I do think I have it too close at 28-21. Give it maybe like 38-21 is more like it. The Ravens are just a way better team than the Rams. The Rams don't have the offensive line to deal with the defensive line that the Ravens have. The Ravens have a top 5 defense right now, and they're going to use that to their full advantage against a Rams offense that's been struggling all season long. No identity on the Rams offense, so the Ravens are going to take advantage of that on defense. They're just going to shit on you. I don't think the Rams defense is ready for young Lamar Jackson, as most of the league's not ready for Lamar Jackson. Nobody's been ready for him. Why the hell would the Rams, who play horrible defense historically, all of a sudden be ready for the goddamn Ravens? That's not going to happen. Give me the Ravens all day, 38-21. So those are all the picks. Those are my picks. They're not too bad. Ravens over Rams, 49ers over Packers, Patriots over Cowboys, Titans over Jags. Those are the four. These are some 1 o'clock games. Those are the other ones. And then, of course, on Thursday, we've got the Colts beating the Texans. Just got to get through to the end of here. And then, of course, here's my pick'em records. Of course, last week I went 11-3, very, very good record. After a 3-10 week the week before, I really wanted to have a nice turnaround, and I got one. So, very happy about that. Went 11-3. I'm 161-1 on the year. That means I've won 100 out of 62 games, or out of 162 games. I'm 61.7% on the year for pick'em, which is not bad at all. And yeah, all right, we're going to go ahead and start to wrap this up, as it's already getting to be a bit of a longer video. Those are my Week 12 NFL picks. I hope you enjoyed them. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. You can always join it if you want to. I don't really care about any of that. Join the channel and pay. You don't have to do that. Just subscribe, like the video. Leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to get back to you with my version of the picks. So, I always, or leave a comment with your picks down below, and I'll be sure to comment back, give you my 2 cents on everything, keep track of who does better. Kind of like a head-to-head. We'll see who does better each week. You already know the drill, most of you who listen anyway. So, all right, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. How's your team doing this year? You can comment about anything down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. You can tell me how much I suck. How your team's doing bad, how your team's doing good, how your team might win MVP if you're like a Ravens fan. So just let me know down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you so much for listening to this Dirty Rob TV presentation. I am Rob. Go Patriots, go Lions, and fuck you. Oh, and by the way, this isn't for kids, so don't flag this, YouTube.